Hey guys, welcome to Baker Lady, and today we're going to make some vanilla frosting. For this recipe, we will need 1 cup of unsalted butter, we need 3.5 cups of sifted icing sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and a couple tablespoons of milk for thinning down the frosting. This recipe is really easy, and you can honestly just throw all of the ingredients together and whip them, but we're going to do it in a couple little steps. Add the butter to the mixing bowl. We will use the paddle attachment at the end to knock out any big air bubbles and to smooth out the frosting, but for now we're going to use the whisk to combine most of the mixture. This will incorporate air to give you a fluffy icing. Attach your whisk to the mixer, and then we're going to add our sifted icing sugar to the bowl. It's important to sift your icing sugar because if you don't, your frosting will have little lumps of icing sugar that just will not whip out. This recipe is small enough to add all of your icing sugar at one time, but for larger recipes, I would add the icing sugar in additions so that it doesn't fly out of your bowl. There are different speeds on your mixer, and we will utilize them all for this recipe. To start, we're going to put it on the stir setting and just allow the icing sugar and the butter to combine. I left this part on real time so you can see that it doesn't really take that long for the icing to start to come together. You can see it whisking and whisking. It really only takes a couple minutes. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. The butter has almost absorbed all of the icing sugar, and then we'll move on to the next step. So we're going to add the salt now. I have here a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we can add that to the bowl now and continue mixing. Now that the dry ingredients have been incorporated, we can increase the speed to about number 4 and let the icing whip for a little while. As you whip your frosting, air is going to be incorporated into it, and it's going to get trapped inside the butter sugar mixture, and this is going to increase volume of your icing as well as lighten the color. Every so often, stop your mixer and scrape down the sides of the bowl all the way to the bottom. Right now, our icing is a nice pale yellow. For those Brad Mondo fans, this would be a level 10 banana peel yellow, and what we're going to do is we're going to tone it to a platinum color. Continue whipping your frosting on medium speed until that light yellow color becomes an off-white color. Again, I've left this in real time so you can see that it really doesn't take that long to make icing. When I turn the speed up again, you can see how much air and volume gets worked into this icing. Notice that at the bottom of the bowl, you can still see that banana peel yellow, but the rest of the mixture at the top is turning that off-white color, and that's why it's so important to scrape down your bowl with the spatula. So now that we've got our icing mixed up nice and fluffy, we're going to stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl again. Now we have a light and fluffy icing. This is where it gets fun because you can make this frosting into a ton of different flavors. Stay tuned till the end for tips on how to do that. Right now we're going to make it vanilla, so we're going to add our vanilla extract. I mean, you could use any kind of extract for flavoring: almonds, lemon, coconut, lots of options. We'll whip that together just to combine. This frosting is my go-to for kids. There's so many options that you can do to tweak this recipe to make it whatever flavor you want. Kids generally prefer this frosting over the less sweet versions of buttercream that adults like. This frosting is also very sturdy when it comes to doing things like making icing flowers and any other type of decorations that you want to pipe onto your cake. Give it a little taste. Just see if it needs a little bit more salt or a little bit more vanilla. And now we can use the milk to thin it out to the right texture. Start with just like half a tablespoon at a time, and you're gonna mix it on low just until it's combined. How much milk you add will depend on what you want to use it for. For filling a cake, I like to thin it out until it's medium to soft peaks. What we are looking for is when you grab a dollop of the icing, the little peaks on top are almost folding over on themselves, but they're still keeping a little bit of shape. Scrape it down again, and then we're going to switch to the paddle. As you can see, this mixture is nice and fluffy, but it does have a little bit of air bubble pockets that you can see that changes the texture. It looks a little grainy, so we want to smooth that out with the paddle. Don't forget to check out the other videos on my channel, including this one here where I decorate a birthday cake with this frosting. We are switching to the paddle now, so attach that to the mixer, and we're gonna mix the icing on low speed just to start knocking out any air bubbles that are too big, which will cause problems when we go to smooth out the cake later. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to bake. What do you need a little help with? Could use some instruction on? Anything tutorial based? Let me know. I can make it happen. There's so many things I can teach you, and I can't wait to show you. I'm gonna stop the mixer now, and I'll show you how smooth the icing looks compared to how it was before. Even though it looks like a subtle difference, it makes a huge difference when you apply it to the cake. Your icing is pretty much ready. From here you can add color, you can add more flavorings, you can add some toppings into it like Oreo crumbs, anything that you want to add to make it the flavor you want. For chocolate icing, you can either add some cocoa powder to your icing sugar before you sift it, or you can add some melted chocolate at the end and just incorporate it in until it's mixed well. As I move the icing around the bowl, you can really see how smooth and velvety it looks. It looks nice and fluffy, like a cloud, and it's just perfect to decorate a birthday cake with. Another way you can add flavoring to your icing is switching the milk out for another liquid, something like coffee. Store the icing in an airtight container in the fridge. When ready to use, bring it to room temperature and give it a little whip and finish it with the paddle. The last step to every baking session is cleaning, so here we go. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing and checking out all of my other videos. Oh yeah, and comment cake so I can see who you are. Here's an example of what it looks like when you pipe with this icing. I'm using a star tip here, and I'm just doing various designs. And here's what it looks like when you write with it. Thanks again for watching. My name is Sam, and I am the Baker Lady.
Please like and subscribe.